Wow, we have a full packed video today. Lots to share, lots to show. Please stick with me to the end. Hi, welcome back. This is Vicki with the 411. We have a busy day today, so I'm going to try not to make this video too long. Just wanted to remind you guys a while back, most of you know that I was a consultant with Thrive Life Freeze Dried Foods, and as of August 31st, they will be no longer in business. And as of today, the store is completely closed. They have sold out of everything. So I want to thank all of my friends and family and customers that have supported me over these 14 years that I was doing this. It was a very major part of my life. I am, however, searching out some other companies that will be able to fulfill that need that I and many others have of wanting to have freeze-dried foods and emergency prep food products in their home. So I will slowly maybe introduce those later. I've got some samples for one company, waiting on some more from another. I have some meals to try from another company. So hopefully in the next week or two, I'll be able to do some food videos, taste testing some products that I can share with you. So today we are on week 34. Again, I want to thank all of my subscribers for helping me move my numbers up. I'm still trying to get to 1,000 by the end of December. So keep sharing it with your friends, like it, and get other friends to share and like it. Um, so let's dive into this week on our food. It says to go back to week 3 and what our menu was for week 3, or what our items were for week 3. Stock up, refresh, replenish what you've used. Now, in week 3, it was 20 pounds of sugar or honey. So if you stocked up on your sugar and you don't need any more sugar, try to get some honey. Now, I like to put my sugar in these big bags here. They hold just a little over 10 pounds. I think I would like to probably keep all of mine at 10 pounds so that I'm consistent with knowing how much I have. And I just found out from one of my subscribers that these containers are good for in the freezer. So if you have a huge freezer that's half empty, and I would take some of these, fill them up with water, and stick them in the freezer because they sit very nicely. They don't tip over. But I'll have the link to those. And then depending on what size family you have, depends on if you want to go with pint jars of honey or the quart jars of honey. I go for the quart because I just use, I go through a lot of honey. In fact, I just made some fig jams because we have a fig tree, and I made some fig jam last couple weeks that I sweetened with honey, and it was amazing. It tastes just great. The other thing on the food was 10 cans of vegetables, and you can pick your favorite kind of vegetable, and check your small cans. Be sure to always check the expiration date when you buy them so that you have an idea how long they've been on the shelf at the grocery store. Or you can go with freeze-dried, longer shelf life stuff that I can help you find some of that stuff a little bit later. And then it was or 5 pounds of dried beans. And again, you can go with the kind like this. You would need to put them in a tub, something so that rodents and bugs don't get into it. Or you can try to find some of the freeze-dried ones that give you a longer shelf life. So because on week 3 it said they were or, if you bought the or and only got the 20 pounds of sugar, then go for the go for the vegetables, go for the beans, whatever you didn't get done on week 3, or maybe what you did get done but you have used and eaten since then. Restock what you can. You don't have to do it all, but stock what you can. Okay, then for our household items, it says to get 2 cans or bottles of bug spray. Now, I know with some people that's an issue because some of the major products are good. Some of them that have that strong DEET, I know there's just been a lot of reports about DEET. So I like to go more with natural um, essential oils that keep the bugs away. That's what I like to keep in my house with keeping my grandchildren. So just stock up, get you 2 of those, because We're into a lot of rainy season here in the Carolinas, and with a lot of rain comes a lot of mosquitoes, and they will eat you up and carry you away. They're just that many. Mosquitoes are bad around here. All right, for our 72-hour kits, it says to stock up on extra batteries. Now, it's always good to have extra batteries, and it's good. You need to keep some in your backpack to generate, replace whatever you are using batteries for, probably your flashlight and things like that. Um, but I got this one year for all of my kids for Christmas. It holds so many batteries, front and back, which I have a lot of room to go here on getting some double A's. But I save my ones I use at Christmas and stuff like that. I put them back in here so that they're not in the lights during the year. But I can look at this, and if my husband's headed to Lowe's or Home Depot, I can say, "Hey, pick me up the big pack of whatever." Um, so and it's got a battery tester in there, so you can test your batteries to see if they're strong or weak and need to be replaced or not. So I really like that little feature in there too. So that was my favorite item that I was going to share this week. This has just been wonderful that I can keep all of my batteries in one place, and when somebody needs something, I know exactly where to go to get that pet. I'm not looking through this drawer or that cabinet where they used to be. So I have really loved this. I'll put the link to that in the description. For our emergency money, we are adding $30 more this week, and we are at the end of the month of August. So by today, you should have $585 in each of your adult money bags, emergency money. Save that for emergencies. We will almost double that by the end of the year. We're kind of in between what last week's amount was and this week's amount to double by the end of the year. By week 52, we will be at $1,125. Very nice emergency stash to have. So keep up the good work. Keep plugging along with that one. Okay, I'm excited about this one. For our family prep this week, we are going to create our car emergency kit. And there's so many things you can do with that. Here's what I've done for my husband, well, for our car. He had this nice little Craftsman tool bag, and in it we have a fire extinguisher, we have some mask, a radio, we have a first aid kit, we have one of those little hatchet things that you can cut something up, break something if you need to. We've got our halo. We've got a poncho in there. That's always good to have. We need to put another one in there because there's two of us most time. My halo. I love my halo thing, and this will be. I'll go into more detail one of these days because this is also one of my favorite things. But it has power. It has jumper cables. I've helped total strangers on the side of the road in the rain because I had jumper cables in my little halo. I make sure I have a phone cord that fits my phone so that I can keep that charged if I need to. But that's just a good piece of equipment to have in your car. And if you're about to go on a long trip, and I say long trip, you're going to be 3 or 4 hours down the road, and then you got to run and come back. It'd be nice to take just a little bag and have some water, some protein bars, crackers, something that'll just keep you satisfied. We were coming back from Raleigh one time. My husband and I were going Raleigh to Charlotte, and all of a sudden our car just lost power. So we coasted off to the emergency lane, had to call AAA, had to call our brother-in-law and sister-in-law that were not too far behind us to tell them, hey, we're off to the side of the road here. And we didn't have any snacks with us, and we waited over an hour, almost an hour and a half, for a AAA to come get our car. And luckily, we had just eaten pretty good before we left. But the thought went through my mind several times. I'm like, wow, I'm glad we're not hungry because we'd starve out here waiting an hour and a half. But anyway, just good to always have something, especially if you're traveling with children. They want a snack 24/7. So I'm excited about the car kit. Have fun with it. Put in some things, good reading material for your kids. Or I've seen a lot of these things at like Target and things like that in that little $3, $5 bins up front, just little packets of activity books and markers, just things like that that'll keep children occupied. If you're on the side of the road with 5 kids, that could definitely be an emergency, even if it's just an hour. So have fun with that one. Then with our water, we're saving the $10 for another future water purchase. So that's it for this week. I feel like I've talked real fast because we just had a lot to go through, but keep up the good work. Just always be have on your radar things that might go good in your emergency preparedness, whether it be food or backpack, something in your backpack, or in your family tub, emergency tub. Just always have something on the radar. Watch for sales, watch for good things. One of the companies that I'm looking into has freeze-dried food, and it has emergency preparedness stuff like solar panels and batteries and generators and things that would be good for emergencies and things that would be good to go camping with, things that just need like that. So I'm getting excited about looking into that company and getting to see more what they have. So stick with me and we will get you prepared by the end of the year. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Vicki with the 411. Let's make 2025 our year to be prepared and stay alive. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.